Get ready to occupy LOL Street. LOL, of course. It is another edition of Comedy Bang Bang. Thanks to Adam Young for that catchphrase submission. I am your host, Hot Saucerman, a.k.a. the world-famous Scottabot. I'm being stared at with piercing eyes by our guest today. He's got piercing eyes and a piercing beard. It is it's a nice November afternoon. And
delightful.
It is delightful. You know what? I know that you were sort of sarcastic, but it actually is delightful.
It is delightful. I'm not. There's no sarcasm here.
I swear to God, you're being sarcastic
Not
right
at
now.
all.
But I am trying to say that it actually is delightful.
I assure you, with no sarcasm, it is delightful.
I just want to strip any irony out of this conversation right now and just tell you that I technically and realistically feel that it is delightful.
I got into an argument with a guy in a bar recently who just started shouting, "I guess I don't get your irony, man." What? And I was like, I don't know what that even means.
Was it Batman?
It was Batman. Fuck, that guy is such a dick.
I want to introduce our guest. It's a great show. I'm really happy to have him here. He hasn't been on the program for a long while, but you know him from his own podcast in his own right, and his own comedy. He has his own podcast, How Did This Get Made, on Earwolf. He also is a recurring cast person on the FX TV show The League, where you can see him as Rafi, a disgusting individual, and I saw him naked on a toilet the other day. I did not like it.
People had very visceral reactions to that, actually.
And you can see him. Can I talk about the thing they can see you in next year, or can I not talk about that?
You can talk about it.
Mention it, but you can't talk about it.
I can't talk about the specifics of it.
But it is common knowledge.
Oh yeah, totally.
You are one of the leads, I guess, or co-lead or something in the new Sacha Baron Cohen movie.
Yes.
The Dictator, which will be out next year.
Yeah, in May, I believe.
In May, you believe. And what
there are plenty of, if you want to look at what that's like, there are plenty of terrible paparazzi pictures of us sitting on camels in the middle of New York City and other insane things.
So you play a camel jockey.
Yes, camel jockey. Yep. The whole movie is built around camel racing.
Good.
And I play a camel jockey.
My friend, it's great to see you. I love having you on the show. This is
You still have not said my name.
Third appearance. I will not say your name, nor will I ever.
I'm like Voldemort. My name will never be spoken.
And I am the boy who lived. Jason Mantzoukas is here. How are you, my friend?
I'm well, thank you. How are you?
I am great.
Terrific. I really want to say I loved that catchphrase at the beginning.
Yeah, that was a great one.
Occupy Wall Street.
Adam Young, good
really
job.
Really great.
Yeah, timely too. Because as far as I know, there's something called Occupy Wall Street happening right now.
Never heard of it.
But the catchphrase, though, is really good.
Really great. Really good. Makes me sad, though, that Reggie Watts doesn't come and do this song live every week anymore.
He used to, yeah.
I know.
But I had to do something to replace thanking him because our shows were coming in too short.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Oh, man. That's tough. That's real tough.
Yeah, it was a tough situation. No,
I can't imagine what it's like living like that.
It was really bad for a while, I have to admit. And then, thankfully, we came up with that solution. But yeah, it was really bad.
Oh, my God.
Really tough.
Holy cow. Are you still cutting yourself?
No Daryl Hammond eye. We got a beef going on with him.
You do? Because of the cutting?
Because, we mentioned the cutting.
Yeah. Oh,
yeah.
And there's beef from it?
Oh, there's a lot of beef.
Oh.
A lot of East Coast.
Come on,
West
hey,
Coast
you know
beef.
what? You know what we need less of in the comedy world? Beef.
That's right. Where's the beef?
Where's the
Says
beef?
a lot of people, and I say we don't need it.
But it's right here.
But here, please.
But it's here with Daryl Hammond.
Yep. Jason, you and I, we know each other pretty well.
We do. I would consider us friends.
I wouldn't. That's so weird.
That is weird. All right, I was being generous. I would say we are good acquaintances.
I was thinking of the day I guess I met you, or the first time I ever talked to you. This is in a city called New York City.
Ah, New York City. City of dreams.
Mm-hmm. The Windy City, also people call it.
City of brotherly love.
Yes.
A lot of people call it.
All of those. Shicky G.
Yep.
And
City of big shoulders.
Yeah. City of standing on the shoulders of giants.
The big peach.
Yep. James and the Giant Peach.
Rolled doll. I love this game.
I love it. Let's keep going forever.
Just word association. Yes.
But
when we met in New York
so
City.
this is the UCB, New York.
Oh, yeah, okay.
We're doing ASCAT,
Uh-huh.
and I don't think we'd ever had a conversation before then. Probably
Okay,
not. But
probably not.
you were a brilliant improviser.
Thank you
You're
very
a brilliant imp as well as improviser.
I'm an incorrigible imp.
I remember you on stage and watching you do something, but I don't remember what it was, but it was great.
Okay.
And we spoke, and that was fun.
You were doing monologues.
I was doing monologues, which is always my pleasure
You were
to
in
do.
town, I believe, writing the Onion movie.
Was that the trip that was 2006?
I don't know.
I was writing the Onion movie. I ended up not writing any of the Onion movie.
Really?
If you see that Onion movie
Didn't
and
see it.
blame me for it. Do not blame me.
I'm glad you mentioned that because I haven't seen it because I was like, well, what am I going to say? What am I going to say to Scott? I don't know.
I was brought in after it was made already because they wanted to
Really?
refilm the entire movie.
For real?
Yeah.
Oh, that's amazing.
And I was brought
This
in.
is some Hollywood insight.
Ooh.
Ooh.
No scoop for you?
Get ready, people who like to jerk off to Hollywood insider information. You've got a boner.
And the wherewithal to deal with it.
Unless
Hands.
you were in a horrible accident and don't have hands.
Those are the worst accidents where they chop off your hands
Oh,
coming out
God,
of them.
It's usually not an accident. It means you are involved in either part of the Hutus or the Tutsis.
You know, that's why Daryl Hammond started cutting. He's trying to chop off his hands.
Chop off his own hands to stop himself from masturbating.
Yep.
It's like masturbating so much is getting in the way of my impressions. I got to get rid of these hands.
By the way, if you think it's mean that we're talking about this, it's not like this came out in the news of like, you know, it was in news stories. He has a book about it.
Yeah. A book about cutting.
Yeah, he has
It's
a
an
book.
instruction manual, as far as I know.
Yes,
I haven't looked at it, but I understand it to be an instruction manual.
Weird that he wouldn't instruct you how to do great impressions. Instead, he chose that route. Well, you got to make a living somehow.
This is going poorly.
But you and I know each other. We've worked together for the last year or so, side by side,
Oh, brothers in arms.
joined at the hip, and we've had a great time.
Wait. Was there when we met in New York City, were you going to say something about that night?
No, I was just trying.
okay.
I guess I was just trying to picture when it was. But 2006, you say it doesn't seem that
so.
long ago. But I guess
5 years ago, isn't it? 6
Yeah.
years ago?
And then we run on the MTV Awards together.
Oh, yeah.
And we got even closer. And you almost died
I did?
because you almost ate a Dodger dog.
Oh, that was bad news. Yeah. I'm
Yeah.
violently allergic to eggs, for those listening.
Violent, like to the point where you have to carry
I have an EpiPen.
heroin
I have
on you in case the cops stop
What
you
if-
on the way.
What if a violent food allergy to eggs was my cover for being a drug addict? I have to have this heroin in case I eat eggs. It's a preventative measure. I take heroin 3 to 4 times a day in order to prevent me from eating eggs accidentally and having an anaphylactic reaction.
Keeps me skinny.
No, I do. I carry an EpiPen with me.
And we were working one day, and they sell Dodger dogs at City Walk where we were working.
For those of you who don't know, it's like the worst place on earth.
It's terrible. We had to go there every day.
Yeah.
And yeah, and so one day you were like, you know what? I'm going to treat myself.
Oh my God, by the way, such a good impression.
Yeah. No, I've been reading Daryl Hammond's book. You want to see my arms? And you're like, I want a Dodger dog today.
Oh.
And then, and you told me the split second before you ordered it, or before you put it in your mouth. Did you actually pay for one? Did you have it?
I did not pay for one.
Okay. So the split second before you ordered it, you were wrestling with your conscience and saying, should I ask him? Because asking everyone you ever meet, are there eggs in this? It must be a drain.
It is exhausting.
Yeah. So the one day you decide, I'm not going to do it. I'm just going to
I'm going to roll with it.
gangs away.
Yeah. Well, because I had a Dodger dog at Dodger Stadium.
Great story. So we're sitting there.
Because let me tell you something. I've eaten hot dogs before. You know what I mean? It's like
It gets better.
I put a hot dog in my goddamn mouth and I know what it's like. And I'm like, this is just another goddamn hot dog in my mouth, isn't it?
Now, to be fair, you could have eaten the actual hot dog itself, the wiener.
True.
The frank.
True. Oh, yes.
It's not tree or true. It's actually true.
It's true.
Okay. But it's the buns,
Oh, it's
as
those
they said
buns.
in the 70s.
It's eating them buns. Those bready buns.
Those eggy, bready buns.
Bready buns. Yeah, almost killed me.
Almost killed you. And
Yep.
and you would not have taken your epi shot. You
I
told
wouldn't
me.
have. I would have let myself go out that way because I had long felt that if I ever managed to get myself to Universal Studios, onto the lot, to City Walk,
On the
working
lot.
on the MTV Movie Awards, that would be my dreams will have come true, and I could die at that point.
Yep.
So knowing that I might die, I mean, you could argue that trying to eat a Dodger dog might have been a suicide attempt.
Yeah, one could argue that.
I could have been like, it doesn't get any better than
no
this.
matter if you're allergic to eggs or not.
I've currently written some of the most legendary pieces of comedy that will ever exist on the MTV Movie Awards.
The intro to Anna Faris and Chris Pine.
Yep.
Which that was a great intro, by the way.
I don't remember that one.
It ended up not being on the show because
what was it?
Because of the contractual. Now, a lot of people don't know when people are on that show, when they're presenters or whatever.
Just a quick note aside,
Yes.
just not to distract you, or anything, but when you talk about the specifics of how this show gets made, the
Yes.
MTV Movie Awards, does that ever get you in trouble or anything like that?
I already was fired the next year.
I know.
So I can talk about whatever I want because
Okay.
they burned the bridge with me.
Okay,
after it all happened, I let some information out that shouldn't have been put out. I was very sorry, apologetic. I apologized to everyone. And then I was hired the next year to be Aziz's head writer,
Yep.
and they fired me a few days in. And so, fuck them. They burned the bridge.
Was it because you didn't bring me in? Do you think that was it?
That's probably it. Okay, so
Yes, go.
everyone on these shows agrees to be on them as long as and the studio pays for it as long as they mention whatever project they have coming up, and that ruins the intros that you write
Correct.
because you have to say "From Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs," great film,
Yep.
bad for an intro.
Yes.
So our wonderful intro for Anna Faris and Chris Pinetree, who were presenting together, was her last name is the name of a carnival ride, and his last name is the name of a tree. Please welcome Anna Ferris Wheel and Chris Pinetree.
This is so terrible. And we got paid for this. I want the audience to understand we got paid
Yeah.
for this.
In your face, people who don't work in show business.
So terrible. Shame on us.
Think you can write a better joke? I believe you.
Oh my god. I'm trying to think of any of the other ones we came up with and now I can't remember any of them.
There was there was one about people who went to the same high school or something.
Really? Oh boy.
I can't remember. It was
Classic.
really. It was
Real
funny
classic.
though.
Yeah, really fun. It was a fun room.
It was
We had fun.
We had a great. Paul Rust was there. Neil Campbell. Was,
Don't know those guys. Forgotten about them.
on your way to the top.
Yep. Left them all behind.
Yep. Well, it's a great pleasure to see you. And
terrific, Sam. Thank you for having me.
It's been a fantastic podcast.
Okay,
and
goodbye.
thank you so much for coming. Click. Screech.
What's going on? Are we broadcasting in here? Is this a Highland broadcast?
What is this?
Hi, how are you? How do you do?